Hi, everyone. Welcome to our prosperity blog for 2024, the year of abundance. This year, Tricia and I are going to talk about abundance from a bunch of different perspectives. And today's perspective is joy. Joy is a choice. Let's listen in. Yeah, so the opportunity for joy is a choice.
Right. And it's joy, not because something happened the way that I wanted it, but just joy in life because I have family that's still here, and because there's these kids running around screaming and fighting and just because my cats are hiding in the kitchen
Right.
because
When are
there's
they
kids
leaving?
running around screaming and crying. Right.
Right.
It's just joy for life itself.
Right. And joy in the moment. The joy. What I would Mark's really into stoicism. And one of the start, they say it's in stoicism is start the day with a meditation, but it's a meditation where you take yourself far into the universe, far, far away, and you realize there's universes and planets and untold, unlimited outer space, and then you start to come tighter and tighter, closer and closer, and then you come to this little micro dot called your life, and it makes you just appreciate that the odds of you being here like this in this situation for this really speck of time, makes you realize that everything is joy. Everything is, that gift of joy, even the crappy stuff. And I think it takes a lot. For me, it takes a lot of discipline to remind myself of that. Not just look around and go, well, that's good, so I'm happy and joyful, and I don't like that, so yeah, I'm not joyful. This isn't joy.
Right. Right. And in yoga, there's a contemplation that life is a gift. And it's right, it's simple. Life itself is a gift. It's not a guarantee of perfection or you're going to get everything you want, but the opportunity to be here and to play in it is a gift. And
Right.
I think the older that I get, the wisdom that I'm grateful for is that everything passes and everything moves, and my learning is what it's all about, not having the answers and doing everything right and avoiding pain, but it's
Right.
about moving through it.
Well, it's probably also about experiencing it. I mean, from our soul perspective, I mean, it's everything. There's everything is everything, and here you come here with duality, and you get this and that. You get up and down, good and bad, pain and not pain, or however, all the gifts of duality. And so, I'm guessing from that unlimited place, the reason why we even bring ourselves here is to experience all of that, not just, and so for our souls, this is divine play. This is, oh, we get to play in the clay of all those emotions and feelings. And then, of course, we've always talked about, then you be a conscious creator and you say, well, thanks for all that, and I'd like more of that, and I'm going to put attention on more joy, more fun, more abundance, and take your attention from the fear, the worry, which I think, I get, like I was saying, I feel like a discipline. It feels like after all this time, I still feel I'm working really hard at remembering that and reminding myself of that.
I agree. It seems like a really easy thing to forget and lose for a while. Um, the constant reminder that you got to keep making the choice. You got to keep choosing to come back to joy. It's right. It's not an event based thing. It's a choice of being.
I thought it was interesting that we both decided to choose joy individually as our theme for this year too. I and I play with a lot of different themes, and one of them was flow, which I'm, doing for our business. And but for me personally, and I've been calling it ROJ, return on joy, which is the ROI, the return on the investment of enjoying my life. That
Mm.
enjoyment is the return I'm looking for. And I have a lot of people, I know a lot of people, they're all about the ROI, strict, you know, money in, better return, lots of money out. And I don't know, I've found that when I look for all the returns, not just on the finance, on the money, then I become more of a nuanced investor, I guess. I decide to invest myself in different ways because I am looking for a return on joy or whatever.
I think relationships, return on investment in relationships too. What relationships bring you a sense of joy or a sense of return? And what relationships do you have that are just draining your account, if you will, to use that?
Totally.
Yeah, to use that in a metaphor, right? Our relationships matter in that way too.
And and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times you think, well, I should this and that, because that's the right thing to do. But then when you put your attention on return on joy, okay, well, how do I upgrade this, or how do I enhance this so that it is more joyful for me, so that I'm not just suffering through it. Like you were saying about enjoying the chaos. That is possible when kids are running around and terrorizing your cats. There is some moments of just pure joy there, right?
Right, right. Well, and that's one of the things with kids is things move so quickly, from watching my granddaughter, the difference between 1 year, 2 years, and then my niece who was here with the twins just kept saying, oh, 3 and 4 were really good. And then 5, they're already in school. I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's so fast. So you don't want to get stuck in anything or thinking it's one way or this is it. It's about this constant movement and re-choosing where you want to invest your time, your energy, your emotions. um, but it's right, we need to remember that it is a constant. It's not a one done deal and
Right.
it's finished.
One of my teachers says it's not like getting your college degree. You get the degree, and then you get to keep it forever and ever. It's
Right,
this whole experience of awakening or enlivening or whatever you want to call it. It is. It's a moment to moment, day to day. Okay, not I almost made it sound like it was hard, but it is, until it becomes totally second nature. And we've been doing it for a long time. I'm still having to make that conscious choice, or at least be
right.
conscious of my consciousness.
Yes. I mean, yeah, that's the deal is the minute we just let go of it, we start to get stuck in some place. At least I'm speaking for myself. And it's just that reminder, oh yeah, I have to choose.
Right.
I have to choose.
Which kind of also brought back that, be kind to yourself. So, I'm looking at the themes of last year, and I'm like, what kind of themes do I see emerging for this year? And being kind to myself kind of is bubbling up to the top.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Stop the judgment for forgetting.
Yes.
Stop the
Yes.
judgment for forgetting, because that just drags out the forgetting even longer.
Right. And you feel guilty about it, and guilt gets you nowhere, and then you're
Right.
you're sucked down the drain, and you're like, and then you get mad. Oh yeah, look at them talking about joy. They're crazy. I've gone through this whole, you go through the whole thing, and you're just like, slow yourself down, take a deep breath. And of course, this is what Tantra teaches, right? Use your energy, become aware of your energy, and then start to learn how to build it, and then of course redirect it. And we're
Right.
talking
Well,
about,
and yeah, and when you're rebuilding it, like, what do you need? Because that's not always the same all the time, too. If I'm not feeling joy, it could be I'm working too much. I'm actually not working enough. I'm hung up on past stuff, feeling guilty about things. I mean, get clear about the stuckness, and then make the decision to put time and energy into the joy. Right.
Right.
I was going to say moving forward, and I don't even want to say that, because even moving forward for me sometimes is oh, I got to do something to move forward,
Right.
instead of just make the decision to put my energy into joy instead of shame or guilt.
Right. Right. Well, and I think that takes when you're saying that, I was feeling how, there is some introspection and internal looking that happens to feel what is joyful to me and what makes me joyful, and sometimes for me, like a great cup of coffee in the morning still brings me a lot of joy. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a Maserati. It's usually the very beautiful, simple things like watching the snow yesterday was really beautiful. Even though I wasn't getting anything done, it was enjoyable, and I think sometimes we kind of think joy that it give I guess what I was feeling when you were saying that was, wow, really giving yourself to the grace of understanding what you do enjoy, what does bring you joy, and then not, sort of being unapologetic about it, right? Like, hey, that's what brings me joy. If this doesn't do for you, that's okay. I don't enjoy 50,000 kids screaming. I get overwhelmed. One, I can manage myself with a giant schoolroom full of them. Probably not. That's not for me anymore. Um, but that doesn't mean that's not somebody else's joy.
Right. Right. And I think that's another thing for myself to speak to, is that what brought me joy 20 years ago isn't the same as what brings me joy now. Um,
Totally.
Sometimes just being quiet with a book brings me joy more than it did 10 years ago, when I wanted more chaos around me all the time.
Right. Yes. Appreciating where you are and and rechecking in. This
Right.
is what it is now. And wow, it has changed. And when I look back over the things that brought that, last year, I don't know that those are going to be the things for next year. I'm open to things and I'm excited for things, but I know, I do know that certain things aren't for me anymore, and that's okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That present moment, like in this moment, what's joy right
When we were
now?
sitting at the Arboretum the other day, I just so enjoyed, the Arboretum by us is amazing. It's got this giant window that you can look out over this pond and there's lights and they had all the poinsettias in there and it was just so peaceable. It was like being in a little temple or church or something, the way it was set up and the way we experience it. And I was like, this is pretty awesome. I
Absolutely. And even the little kid running around screaming and his mother chasing him. I mean, that was
right.
even part of it.
It was
Right.
lovely. It was really lovely. So I
Yeah.
do appreciate that somehow we both individually decided to use joy as the underpinning and the intention for this year, and that's one of the reasons why I think we wanted to come together, because I really love doing this with you, and I really look forward to us doing this every week, and if people get something out of it, that would be awesome. But I know I get a lot out of it when we connect and when we talk and when we share together. I don't know, somehow I always feel really elevated after we're done.
I do too. Absolutely. And right, it brings me joy. And
Right.
I think part of it is when we do get together, we're able to see both sides. We're able to see the duality of our situations often, and in a non-dual way, and just, okay, it was this and it was that. and it's all that, and it's not an either or kind of a thing. And that's a lovely thing too. I also need to say that we have our thoughts about joy now, choosing that word at the beginning of the year. And I'm looking forward to, as we go through the year and get through the year, whether our definition of what joy is or isn't starts to shift or change or become eye-opening or create a lot of awareness that we don't have now, even choosing that word as our word. That's kind of fun too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking about summer. Now we're in the middle of winter and it's kind of cold and dreary or whatever. But I know when the flowers start blooming and I can run around in the garden, my joy is going to totally change to something
Right.
very different. Yes,
Yes.
agreed. Totally.
I love it here where I am. It'll start in the spring, and it won't feel like spring to me, but the ducks will come looking for areas to nest, and the geese will come looking, because I'm off of the DuPage River, and so they come out to this little tributary to make their nests so that they have more privacy and there's not as many predators around. And the minute I see that, it's like, it's spring.
It's awesome,
They know,
right?
right?
Right. They know what's
They
their joy.
know,
They know it, right?
right?
Exactly. And I do see this as fostering Tantra of prosperity. I still would love to make this a part of our tantraofprosperity.com. Of course we'll put it on our websites, but I do see this as prosperity, and the ROJ, return on investing in joy, is truly a prosperity move, a prosperity experience, a prosperity fostering intention. And I've always felt that. And that's the other reason why I love talking with you, is because it is a prosperity experience for me. Opening my heart, feeling our energy together, that always feels like a prosperity experience to me.
I agree. No, same thing. It is. And right, allowing yourself to feel a sense of joy is prosperous. It is prosperity. It's choice. It's making the choice.
Right.
I have a choice. Right.
And most people are trying for prosperity so they can get joy. When I get money, then I'll be happy. When I have all these things that equal, accomplishment, then I can enjoy. Then I can be in joy. And it's almost the reverse. When you are in joy, or joy, or enjoy, then the prosperity just becomes a flow. It starts flowing in all ways, not just one way, but many ways. And that's when life gets richer, funner, sweeter, all those things. So, and I think we've been experiencing that, individually, as our individual paths go. But I love that they're kind of culminating in this 8-year, the 2024 is, that's it too. It's a prosperity year too. This is 8. This is like the infinity, the abundance year. So I also find it interesting that we're deciding that we're going to do these podcasts once a week, in the abundance year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for joy.
Yes, abundance for joy.
I was thinking,
go ahead.
Yeah, the last time we talked, I was sharing that in the year 2023, I had a lot of unpleasant experiences happen, a lot of, just things breaking down around the house, in the car, stuff like that. And the minute I shifted my perspective of that, everything started to shift. And it wasn't that everything started going my way and everything was perfect, but my experience of it, at least the pain part of the experience of it, was so much shorter. And the prosperity of things getting corrected and flowing nicely, that experience I let myself really enjoy and sink into. So those increased, right? The increase in prosperity just from where my focus was going.
Yeah, and I felt that from you because, and several times after we got off the phone, I'm like, wow, good for Tricia. She's really managing herself, for lack of better words, right? I didn't feel your energy of victimhood. I felt your energy of
Right.
I'm dealing with it, not too happy about it, in all fairness, but I also felt, the master creator coming in there and going, and and I'd like this to happen fast, clearer, the flow experience. And you had some really beautiful flow moments in the middle of a giant, mess. So good for you. I,
Yes.
you were a living testament to the practices that you've been doing for, obviously years and years.
It takes, well, again, I need to keep reminding myself and coming back and reminding myself that it's a choice. Like this happened, yes. But, and it's so oversaid, it's so overstated that it's not what happens to you, but it's how you, how
Respond.
you
Yeah.
respond to what happens to you. And it's oversaid a lot, but it's really true. And that's another reason for my word joy. I want to bring joy to whatever this year brings.
Yeah, right. It can't hurt. Right? If you're
Right,
gonna do
right.
something, hey, might as well do it. I mean, if you're gonna create something, and I think you were talking to somebody and they're like, or you don't want to ask for patience, or don't make it the year of patience. Then you got a whole year where you're being tortured, so you have to learn patience. No, I'm going to focus on joy, for goodness sake.
Right. Yes.
And it's one of the
Um,
reasons why I've decided on all the things I can put my attention on: prosperity, the tantra of prosperity, abundance, effortless wealth. Those are, I'm like, if I'm going to put my brain power on something, it might well be something that makes me happy and is fun and
right.
all that good stuff.
Right. And is remembered. I mean, when you put your focus on it, it's remembered. It isn't hard to remember joy. Like
No,
I don't have to write it out.
no, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
comes
duh.
pretty quick. Yeah,
I
it comes
want
pretty
that.
quick. Right.
Absolutely. I love that.
Comes pretty quick.
So today I wanted to end with you gave me a bracelet, a joy bracelet. Thank you. And it says, blessings and joy bracelet. Joy is simple and yet profound. Three simple letters, one simple truth. Joy is a grace from God that brings hope to every moment. As you wear and feel the feeling of joy as it fills your heart just when you need it most. May joy take you by surprise today and always. How about that? May
Love
joy
it.
take you by surprise today and
And
always.
always.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy
Ta-da.
New Year,
Yeah,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Happy New Year.